All right, time now for a full look at that weather forecast. Checking back in with Chief Meteorologist Lee Solomon. A lot to keep an eye on.
Yeah, a lot of lightning. Unfortunately, a lot of fires. Now we got to contend with some smoke and, everything else that goes with that. We'll take a look at the view from high atop Mount Toro. We've got a bit of the marine layer. The marine layer has been real tricky, and it tends to be when you have monsoonal moisture moving overhead, that wind direction out of the south. So the low clouds are wanting to form and come in, but the wind direction not quite right. And we've been seeing this all day long with, again, some fog in coastal areas. And I'm expecting more of it by morning. 65 right now, so it's also really mild. If you go outside right now, you're going to feel it. You're going to go, it feels warmer than average. Yeah, 65 this time of night, pretty mild. And yes, we still have a bit of the marine layer, but the water temperatures are like 63, 64. So that makes sense, right? If you get a breeze off of the ocean, it's not really that much colder this time of year. This is our warmest time. There are the low clouds. You can see they're kind of patchy, right? It's just kind of a mixed bag out there right now, and it'll be like that in the morning. The main story, though, was all that monsoonal moisture and lighting up the sky in terms of the lightning strikes today, thousands of them, and some of them came down without any rain, and that, of course, was problematic into the dry brush, into the dry fuels, and we've got some fires going. There's a little area of low pressure that was helping to kind of spark things up, and that's also the reason our wind direction is out of the southwest. This is at upper levels in the atmosphere. That's what's driving all of this. You'll also notice that the main band of moisture here on the water vapor imagery is starting to dissipate and move off to the east. We still have a warm dome over us, but good news here, we've got a cooling trend, not just the marine layer, but this is just overall cooling in the atmosphere that will come between Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So that's also good news if these fires are still going by then, because we will see higher relative humidities, even inland across the state, and lower temperatures. Winds should stay relatively light to moderate. No big wind events, but yeah, it gets gusty in the afternoon. So we've got the salt fire down around Coalinga, approximately 2,000 acres, and the September complex fire now. So we've got both of these to contend with. And thankfully, our wind direction is going to be coming like this, right? Off of the ocean and then pushing inland. So the bulk of the smoke will go off to our east. But again, at night, that smoke tends to rise and just kind of linger and more or less just kind of waft out from the fire. So there really isn't much wind at night. So we could get a little bit of the smoke tomorrow. And the next couple of days could be mixing in with the fog and get a little hazy. I don't think air quality will get bad, though, right now. So we'll keep a close watch on that. Most of the smoke will be elevated. Morning overcast tomorrow, afternoon clearing coast. And again, low clouds to start for some inland. It's mostly going to be sunny in the mid-80s to around 90. Fremont about 81. San Jose 86. We'll get to about 70 in San Francisco. Some low to mid-70s from Santa Cruz to Capitola. Cooler on the beach. 90 up in Boulder Creek. About 88 in Bonnie Doon. Working around to Salinas over to San Juan Bautista Hollister. A mix of 70s to low to mid-80s. Warmer spots Morgan Hill 91. 66 though in Marina. Should get back to a northwesterly wind tomorrow. That'll keep the peninsula probably in the upper 60s to around 70, and low clouds may kind of hang around a bit, especially later in the day, maybe a late day clearing. Middle 80s to upper 80s and low 90s through the Salinas Valley, and then you get into the middle and upper 90s out towards Parkfield, Bradley, and Lake Nacimiento, and 93 at the Pinnacle. So yes, it's toasty, and you may find yourself in a little smoke if you're heading eastward. Mid 60s cross the peninsula the next 7 days. Seaside, Monterey, PG, out to Monterey. So again, a pretty typical forecast in terms of temperatures here, and mild conditions from Salinas to Watsonville, Santa Cruz, northern half of the bay. Also looking nice. Afternoon clearing with some fog in the morning, and low 70s. And the valleys and hills will continue the cooling trend. As I said, it's going to come in little bits and pieces. We're really going to have to get the monsoonal flow out, which will happen by Thursday, and then we'll see more significant cooling Friday, Saturday. You'll be back down into the low to mid 80s. And again, we're keeping a watch on smoke and air quality here the next few days. Max?